Hello. I'm recording this on my laptop today, so quality is going to be, it's going to be probably the same as the live quality, but I can pause the video. I shouldn't have to, but I can. I might have to, because I started this before I wrote up what I'm doing today, but I guess I'll just fill it. I'm using Mystic Mondays because I felt drawn to the Mystic Mondays. And I'm also going to be using the Energy Oracle cards because I haven't really used these since I found the man holding a heart. He was missing for a while, so, but he's back. He's back. He's returned. Back on the deck. So amazing. Find your center. My love is just a reminder. Find your center. Okay. Ooh, that's a whole bunch of cards that just tried to come out. Ooh, that was a good shuffle. Yes. I get so excited when it does that. Oh, that was another one. Okay, let's cut that. So I'm just gonna go with it today. Remember, my love was under center. Both of these have reversals, by the way. Again, don't know what this thing is, but we're doing it. Okay, bottom of the deck is Strength. Which is a white tiger in this deck, and behind Strength is this Hermit. Is that 8 and 9? That is. 8 and 9. Strength and the Hermit. Interesting. That's a good sign, right? Oh, I should have moved this stuff before, but I didn't, and it's fine. I'll just push you over. So I was sitting out on the porch today. I'm going to switch this over to a meditation playlist soon. But I was sitting on the porch today, and it's really windy, but not consistently. And it is fairly cold outside, so my nose is running now. So I just got to hope that my body cooperates with me, because I needed to go outside. And I was thinking about it. About Abu Dhabi. About going to grad school. And I'm like, maybe that opportunity was just to show me I'm sorry. There we go. Cornucopia. I have 3 rows, 4, 3, 4. Oh, this is a 9. And Strength was on the bottom of the deck, which is number 8, but behind Strength was the Hermit, which is number 9. We got too much history. Anyway, I don't think that's my next step. And I was really excited for it, but I think it was ultimately to teach me that appreciation, cornucopia and appreciation. Loving this. I'm getting 3 oracle cards, so then I'll start. I could pause it, but why would I do that? Um, I don't know if it's the song bringing emotions out of me or what, but oof. Or maybe it's not even the song. Uh, I don't think that's it for me, especially because it's like I was waiting to finish school to start a whole bunch of other stuff. So why would I go back to school? Right? It's not my path. Um, it was a potentiality for me, but I don't know why I use this thing. I don't think it works for me. Um, but yeah, I think I just got that opportunity to realize that it's okay to have impossible dreams and to believe in them. Is that the Ten of Cups in the Pride Tarot deck? The one about impossible dreams? And that, like, miracles can happen and stuff like that. And so I'm entering a gray period where the world, as I'm doing everything I need to do to close this chapter that I'm in right now, the world will be coming into fruition. And it's for me to be okay with that. Ooh, 2 cards. I love this song. Contracts. Upright. The bottom of the deck. I'm listening eye to eye now. So victory and second chakra Archangel Ariel in reverse. Cornucopia, appreciation, victory, and Archangel Ariel in reverse. I'm actually going to read both of those right now. I'm going to go from the bottom up. Yeah. That one way or another, together's where we both belong. If we listen to each other's hearts, we'll find we're never too far apart. And maybe love is the reason why, for the first time ever, we're seeing it eye to eye. Nebula. I've officially switched over to the Peaceful Meditations playlist. Because I can't get that lit. And I can't get demonetized, but they probably still could, like, take this video down. Or remove the sound from the video, which would be kind of tragic. But I'm opening up the Energy Oracles book now. I'm so glad I got this, where I got this. At first I was like, but then I was like, and they took a long time to arrive. Like, they got stuck in customs for some reason, and that's the first time I got something from Wish, and it took that long to come. But they came right on time. Was it these or was it the other cards? I don't know. Okay. Seeing it eye to eye, seeing it eye to eye. I've got myself a notion. Number 28 is victory. Hey, that's one of my numbers. Victory. And then number 36 is Archangel Ariel, second chakra in reverse. For me personally, I feel like that's creating The Two of Wands is about choices, right? It can be about crossroads and making a choice, choosing a direction, a path to follow. But in the wild unknown, the two wands run parallel to each other. And so I was like, what does that mean? But it's like the choices are like mile markers, like when you're skiing and going down the slope, they have the posts, right? Are those goal posts? I don't know what they are. I've only skied on like video games and I'm bad at that. um, but it's like the choices that come to us themselves show us something. Before we even make a choice, the choices that we're presented with says something. Because it's like if I give you a choice between having a good day or having diarrhea, you're probably going to choose to have a good day, right? That's not really a choice, but a choice that you actually have to think about. It highlights something, right? Like if I gave you a choice between having your favorite cake flavor or having a decent pie flavor. If you like cake and let's say you like pie more than you like cake, and you get like a decent pie or you get like a good cake, you know, it's like that's an actual choice that calls something into question, right? It's like, do I want something that I may enjoy more that's not my favorite, or do I want my favorite that I might enjoy a little less? I feel like that made my lips feel worse, low key, but it's fine. Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's something about like the choices sort of outlining the path that we're on. But it's like a middle road between them. And I guess like inaction is the best course of action came out yesterday, right? Or maybe it's not to necessarily make either choice at the time, but to continue on the path. I don't know. I'm just outside. And another thing, it's like I've been watching the trees green. I have two trees in my front yard, and I've been sitting on the porch a lot instead of sitting in the back. And the sun is in the back, but you know, we got little rocking porch chairs on the porch. And I've been watching the trees, and the tree on the left greened a lot quicker than the tree on the right. But within the course of a few days, they were both pretty green. And I was like, wow, they went from like no leaves to a bunch of leaves like fairly quickly. But that's because they all bud and they all, yeah, it's like they bud at roughly the same time. Now the buds may blossom at roughly different times, but within the span of a few days, it's like all the buds have blossomed, right? And from a distance, even like you may not see the buds from a distance, but they're there. That potential is there, just waiting for the conditions to be right for them to open up. Um, and then I got an image of like there's a lot of buds all over the world right now. Some may blossom a little earlier or sooner than others, but in time we'll see a spring renewal that may seemingly come out of nowhere, but it's because all of the buds are already there and the buds are in place, right? They're just waiting on their environmental cues to open up. Um, and then it was also like, then I was like, well, if there's like this network of buds, should they all be on like the same, like, should they all try to like meet up in the same astral space or whatever, right? Like meditate on the same thing or something along those lines. And I was like, no, it's for each of them to do their own thing individually. And then I was shown, or I got a visual or image of a tree. It's like a single tree, but it had leaves and flowers of many colors. I was like, oh. So I almost did like a cardless upload today, just like taking what I learned from nature. But here I am with the cards. So, number 28, victory. This is success and achievement. Ganesha came out with achievement the other day. Upright, this card says, excuse me, let me grab a, I don't even know if y'all can see that. There you go. This card shows a beautiful spirit holding a golden victory wreath in acknowledgement of your achievement. Success is on its way, and you have a sense of pride in what you've worked to accomplish. The achievement may be a great outer success, or it may be a deep inner change that you've been exerting a lot of effort toward. Enjoy this sense of achievement and accomplishment, but be careful not to rest upon your laurels. People expect outer triumphs to bring great changes, but often there may still be inner work to do. Let yourself be open to victory on every level now. Oh, I got super far. Super far, super far. Right, is that a super freak? She's a super freak, super freak. She's super freaky. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. Peaceful meditation music, you're not helping. Okay. Number 36 is second chakra, Archangel Ariel, which is intimacy and creativity. When this card is reversed, you may find that your creativity is being blocked. If this is the case, you might need to take more risks and open up to new and different ideas. Go inward to find the feelings that may be causing this blockage. Call upon Ariel to help you release old fears and self-limitations. Affirm that you are open to Spirit's love and creative inspiration. This card reversed can also signal problems with intimacy of all kinds, and issues of sexual intimacy in particular. Visualize Ariel spinning a beautiful light in your second chakra, calming and healing the energy there. Know that real closeness can be both safe and comfortable for you, and that you deserve a depth of sharing in your relationships. The affirmation here is, my second chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I am creative and self-nurturing, more and more comfortable with the gentle waves of intimacy coming my way. Now let's see what cards we got. Maybe it's like the first two will be surrounded in victory. We'll just see. We'll see. Queen of Swords. I actually saw her a few times when I was shuffling up. Upright. The Seven of Wands. Upright. The Three of Swords. Upright. Is it going to be another Wands card? And the Chariot in reverse. Where's the book? This book is difficult for me to read sometimes, so we'll see. I've been enjoying like reading lately because I want to see what different people have to say. You know what I mean? When you've lost your way, colors fade to gray. Remember, find your center. The Chariot is number 7. So, Chariot in reverse. The key words are directionless, off course, and roaming. Directionless, off course, and roaming. So, it's like with these two cards, this is the realization of some truth that you received. And I feel like, because I'm looking at this green sort of thing wrapped around it, right? And that's related to the heart. And then we have the Three of Swords with this Chariot in reverse. And so I feel like there's a truth that's, I don't know if it's a truth that's binding her heart or if it's a truth that she's going to use to cut herself free. And then we have the Seven of Wands right here. I feel like, oh, it's like, it's heavy, but it's light at the same time. Let's see. Victory did come out right. With the second chakra, I feel like I've been getting this message a few times of like you can be victorious either way, but it's like you're gonna find victory in this situation no matter what you do. But there is a path that's better for you. And the path that's better is gonna require you to be vigilant. It's gonna require vigilance. Let me see what the keywords are for the Seven of Wands. There's the 8. Here's the 7. The keywords for the Seven of Wands upright are attack, challenge, and stand ground. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, said Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky? From Everybody Hates Chris, the hockey player Wayne Gretzky? Was that him? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wait. Well, yeah, you take shots in hockey too. Hey Siri, who is Wayne Gretzky? Yeah, he is a hockey player. Okay. Alright, thank you. No, thank you. Alright. Everybody Hates Chris, Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100%. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. And I used to be like, well, I'm so bad I miss 100% of the shots that I do take, so I could like same time and energy and effort. And it's time to defeat that mindset because I feel like it's that type of mindset that leads to making choices out of this heartache that would lead you down a path that would be less fruitful for you. And I feel like there's a choice that you can make that speaks to the depth of this healing. Because this Three of Swords is the darkest card on here, right? And I feel like there's this energy with the Three of Swords being upright. It's an energy of accepting it and of moving forward. Because pain teaches us things, right? If you didn't get burned by the stove, you wouldn't know not to touch things that are hot, right? And it's like people who are born without the people who are born unable to feel pain. It's like sometimes you don't know when you've been hurt by something. Like there was an episode of House, I think, where there was a girl who didn't have a sense of pain. There was somebody I know in real life, who they say that he didn't feel pain. Oh my. Okay. They said he didn't feel pain, and everybody was a little bit intimidated by him. He was, I feel like, the epitome of child. I don't know if it's childish or if it's childlike, but a person who has like maybe an underdeveloped moral compass, someone who hasn't yet been societally conditioned. And so he could be very temperamental. Like he wasn't necessarily bad. And he was pretty cool, but maybe he had like a short temper or there were things that he would do or say that he didn't necessarily perceive as wrong. even though like societally you may be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that person just said that, right? And he had a bit of a temper, and so people were kind of intimidated by him. And then I remember one day somebody was like, uh, I guess I don't necessarily have to go that deep into what was said, but the overall message was that, like, even if you don't feel the pain, if something is broken, you won't be able to use it, right? Like, even if you don't feel pain, and there's a difference because, like, you could be in like that fight or flight mode. This is like someone's choosing to fight. This is the flight, and this is the fight. Okay, this is flight or fight. That's what this is. Um, but fleeing is not the choice to make in this situation. I feel like, because I feel like ultimately to move forward would be to run away, and so it's like you're manifesting these different escape routes. Take it as it resonates, but it's like you're manifesting these different escape routes to keep you on the path that you're on, to reinforce your choice to not take those. Because ultimately, it's like once you've decided to fight for something, you need to see it through to really claim victory. There are some moments when retreat is a better course of action, and there are some moments when standing your ground is the best course of action. To neither proceed nor retreat, but to stake your claim and to stand your ground, to be unmovable, and to not fear what's coming next, right? Because I feel like sometimes we can try to proceed with something out of fear, just like, oh, let's get this over with. Or we can try to retreat out of fear, but sometimes the hardest decision to make, or the decision that requires the most bravery, is to stand your ground, right? Maybe sometimes the hardest decision is to stay indoors, right? If we all locked in and you see other people going out and you're like, oh, I want to be out there too, but I know that right now I should be staying in, right? And I feel like there's a difference between letting life pass you by and standing strong. It's like flowers live their lives the way they do because when it comes to the winter time, and even when like kind of sort of when spring is over, they're gonna die. But trees, even when they lose their flowers, even when they lose their leaves, they still stand, right? A tree knows that it's gonna make it through the winter. And so the tree doesn't have to fear. It's like a tree has a different concept of time than a flower does, right? And even a perennial flower, even a flower that comes back every year, has a different concept of time than a tree. Um, and so it's like be a tree and not a flower. Because even if you don't feel this pain anymore, or even if the pain isn't as fresh, even if you don't consciously feel as limited, and then we did have this in reverse, right? This could be a fear of intimacy that would cause you to flee a situation instead of stay. Um, and so now it's like I'm seeing this as like she has this truth in her heart. This is okay, so these are kind of sort of giving me the same energy. But this is her choosing to stand and fight, and that's her choosing to escape. Because it's like this truth that she's come upon has engaged her heart in a way where it can reveal a truth to her, right? And so it's like her heart is restricting her actions, and it's not necessarily that she's stuck on someone, but it's a recognition of sometimes you have to stand and fight. Sometimes you have to stand your ground to claim what it is truly worth having. Now we're going to move up a level. Here we have appreciation, which is number 15. I'm going to read appreciation real quick. Real quick. Oh, the best thing about this, I'm going to be going to the store with my mother. And so since I'm recording on my laptop, if we got to go, I can just stop it and then resume it when I come back. Which would be in hours, literally hours. I don't know why we're always at the store for so long. Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes I get like Walmart eye. It's like if I've been in Walmart too long, then my eyes will start to dry out and they'll get like irritated. I'm like, it's time to go. Or any store, really. But I call it Walmart eye because it's more often than not Walmart. So appreciation is choosing gratitude. I love choosing gratitude when I've been talking about the Two of Wands and choice. So this card shows a woman holding a single rose. She enjoys the scent and beauty of the single blossom, yet around and behind her are bramble bushes. She could be focusing on those, worried that she might get caught up in their prickly branches of difficulty. Instead, she's pausing to experience the blessing of this single flower. The sun is breaking through the clouds, shining on her choice and on the tiny buds waiting to open up. This card upright is telling you that you have much to be grateful for. And like the flowering bush behind the woman on the card, there is more to come that you can't yet see. Congratulate yourself for every moment that you choose appreciation. This decision shifts your consciousness from lack to value, and it's guaranteed to bring more worth and riches of life to you. I love that. I love it. Love it. Oh, you just gotta trust sometimes. Oh, judgment in reverse. There's the double mirror. We just saw the hermit on the bottom of the deck. The Nine of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Judgment in reverse, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. I'm just gonna read the keywords for these. And these all came from the bottom of the deck, by the way. So this can kind of sort of be the energy of deeper forces at play. And deeper forces at play can sometimes be the things that are left unseen. But just because they're unseen doesn't mean that they're not felt. The crux is where you put your faith and your belief. Judgment in reverse is doubts and self-judgment and overcritical. That's it? Oh, doubts, self-judgment, and overcritical. Okay. So yeah, doubt'll do it. Oh, and look, I flipped right to the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in reverse is materialistic, selfish, and frugality. And then the Nine of Pentacles upright. And I flipped right to this one too. True colors, splendor, and vitality. Vitality? Vitality. Oh, well, that makes sense. I was like, vitality, that's like a minor sun. But then you see the sun in the back behind a peacock. That I want to see your peacock. So my Katy Perry just popped into my head. I want to see your peacock. So this vitality, this minor sun, the self-worth, the self-value, the self-appreciation, the knowledge of the store of abundance that you possess within you right? And this peacock isn't presenting right now. So even though we have this sun energy, this peacock isn't presenting right now. By that I mean like it's not, the feathers aren't up and it's not showing off. And it's flanked by this doubt and by this busted sense of self-worth, right? And let me read this one more time. Well, this is so hard. Materialistic frugality. Yeah, okay, so with this, I feel like this is doubt, and with this being materialistic, like I was saying, it's for you to realize sometimes that I can't remember how I said it, but it's like you have so much coming to you spiritually that if you get caught up in some of the things that you're manifesting right now as if like those are the be all end all, like I'm not going to get an opportunity better than this, I should take this, that's coming from a lack space. And we're going from lack to value. That's what this card literally just said. And the only card upright is this Nine of Pentacles. Judgment is in reverse. The Four of Pentacles is in reverse. I feel like, and it's interesting because I had a dream last night and I was arguing with my little brother. And he was like trying to talk down on me. And I was like, I know what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is going to lead to all of these things. Like, what are you doing? Because you may be doing this and doing that, and you may have this and have that, but like, where does that go? What space is that coming from? What does that actually do for you? And it's being internally solid and having the faith and realization, and with appreciation, it's not getting caught up in the things that you don't have. And honestly, it's like I have appreciation for things that I don't even have yet. Because I can feel the happiness that they're going to bring me. And whenever I tap into that space of happiness, it makes me cry because it's a happiness that I never thought I would have or experience. And to just like feel a piece of it, it fills my heart so much more than I ever thought it would be. I had an extremely limited capacity on what I would allow myself to experience. And so to be in a space of like feeling, it's like when the Grinch's heart grew 3 times, right? Its size. It's like being in a space of feeling your heart expanding is just, it's kind of sort of indescribable, but it's like beautiful at the same time. And so it's like, it's not to be overly critical of yourself. It's not to tear yourself down. And it's not to doubt all of the things coming. It's for you to stand firmly in your worth, even if your environment doesn't yet reflect it, right? Because it's almost like with these two mirrors, you see the gap in between them? It's like there's a space of delay. And that space of delay is the valley of judgment. And once you make it through that valley, that's when it will all begin to come in. But it's also for you to be so in touch and so in tune. It's like these could be swords piercing the heart, or they could be, because swords are typically made out of metal, and metal conducts electricity. And the electromagnetic field of the heart, it's like these swords could be like antenna of the heart, right? Where, oh, so the swords in this deck are pretty much crystals, a lot of them, right? It's almost like these are crystals more so than swords, right? And crystals have that piezoelectric effect. And the piezoelectric effect, oh, I can't 100% remember. But it's like whenever you run electricity through something, then it vibrates, and that vibration causes sound. And so those crystals can amplify frequency. And so it's like the heartache and the heartbreak and the pain, once you heal from it, you can turn those swords into crystals that amplify the frequency of what you've been through. This is the feeling of your heart expanding. And you see like the X, Y, and the Z plane, like they're all represented here. Like three that's like the third dimensional plane. Every 3D plane is covered by these swords. So you may have felt like your heart has been stabbed in every single way it could be. But once you heal from that, it opens you up to really expand and to call in from every direction. And those crystals piercing this heart can amplify and magnify your ability to do so much. Right? And it's like, it sets the frequency. It's like if you had a theme song and you could go through life, like with that theme song, like that is like, this is your theme song, right? Because when these crystals pierce the heart, it's like these swords pierce the heart, and through healing they crystallize. And so they have this ability to conduct all of that biorhythmic, bioelectricity, but also when they crystallize, they have this ability to amplify it. And when they amplify it, it creates this vibrational frequency aura that also has a tune to it. And it's like certain things will be drawn to and attached to that tune, attached to that rhythm. And they call it, or it could be called, a toroidal field. And then it brings us back to Taurus, right? Which is all about love. It's Venus. It's all about love. It's all about value. It's all about worth. And then we have all of this Earth right here. Interestingly enough, though, we don't have the 5, the 6, or the 7 of Pentacles. So we have Capricorn and Virgo energy. And then Judgment is fire, maybe. It might be fire, according to the SKT, which is the traditional 7 planets. She doesn't account for Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But yeah, and it's like this 3 of Swords is sitting in between the 9 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. That's the choice that you get to make. And then the 4 of Pentacles in reverse is sitting on top of the Chariot in reverse. The only thing that the Chariot in reverse is touching is that 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And so sometimes it's like we think that we're moving forward because we're over something, or because we want to prove that we're over something. But that isn't necessarily always the case. Because sometimes if you were truly over it, you wouldn't need to move to be over it. You know what I mean? So then I'm going to wrap this up here fairly shortly. Cornucopia, which is number 11. Master number 11. I love this progression. Oh, I'm definitely feeling the peaceful vibes now. The music is working. It's working. So Cornucopia upright is wishes fulfilled. An abundant harvest and great blessings are waiting for you, and you may even find all of your wishes fulfilled. All is emphasized. Love that! You may even find all of your wishes fulfilled. This cornucopia of gifts from the universe can come in the form of financial riches, job fulfillment, romantic love, or all of the above. When you receive the cornucopia upright, you know that you've done important work and it's about to pay off. The seeds you've planted in your energy and in your life are ready to be harvested in some significant ways. Get ready, For a great feast of abundant value is being prepared for you now, and Spirit is applauding all of your effort. I actually love this. I don't too much use the Mystic Mondays, and I was gonna use the Mystic Mondays on my channel or on my Instagram because I wanted to assign like a different deck to each day, and I was like, well, the Mystic Mondays is perfect, but that idea never took off. So, oh wow! Starting with the World card upright, the World card upright sitting on top of this Justice in reverse. The only thing that the World card is touching is that Judgment. Sorry, Judgment in reverse. Judgment in reverse is connected to second card. Is this the King of Swords? The King of Swords in reverse. I've been seeing the King of Swords so much upright typically because I use a lot of upright decks now. But now he's in reverse. So Judgment in reverse is connected to the World, the King of Swords in reverse, the Queen of Swords upright, and the Seven of Wands upright. This is interesting. So we have this diagonal. I don't even know if I'll be able to really hold this or show this, but okay, well, she's on the floor. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't bend her. She's okay. She's fine. She's fine. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get all of you in here. So on this diagonal, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So we have the King of Swords in reverse, the Queen of Swords upright, and she's actually reaching up toward him, right? She's reaching up and looking up toward him, but he's looking in another direction. And then we have this Judgment in reverse, and that's the sort of diagonal they play. That's interesting. Neither one of them have their swords ready. Like, not like they're both holding it and they have a firm grip on their sword, but like neither one of them has their sword raised as if they're about to attack, right? And he's just straight up chilling on his. Like, look at him. I mean, this is him upright. This is him in reverse. Did my mama leave? Is my mama leaving me? Is my mama leaving me? Next is the Devil card upright. And the Ten of Wands in reverse. So the Four of Pentacles. This is interesting. So if we look at diagonals, because the King and the Queen are on a diagonal. So the same diagonal as the King, the Queen, and the King. Yes. Yep. I'm actually going to end this here and then I'll be back. So